Hey there, my friend. My name is Hugo Fernandez, founder of Just Digital Inc. and author of the Client Acquisition Blueprint. And in today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to advertise on Google specifically for business owners who don't want to maybe set up the ad account themselves, go through all the technical portions of it, learn what broad match modifiers versus exact match matches are, and all the other technical stuff that goes along with it. But you do want to use Google Ads to grow your business, to get more leads and more sales. So this video is specifically for the business owner who's looking to accomplish their goals by using Google Ads and Google advertising. So this video isn't going to be overly technical. I'm not going to show you in the Google Ads dashboard step by step how to set it up, how to set up your bids and your keywords and all that stuff. This is really a high level overview on how Google advertising works and how you can make it work for your business. So I'm not going to go in detail on all the technical sides of Google Ads. This is just a high level overview and all the different elements that we focus on when we're doing Google Ads and that a business owner should understand in order for you to be able to effectively manage a Google Ads campaign. We always recommend a business owner find a freelancer or a local advertising agency or an ad agency like us to run their Google Ads campaign. You can also call Google and get the campaign set up. But if you're not familiar with Google Ads, they are the search results that show up when you type in something and you try to find something on Google. They're typically the first batch of search results. Underneath that, you'll see the local businesses. It's called the local pack, and those are your Google My Business listings. If you don't have a Google My Business listing, I highly recommend you set that up. It's free. Just type in Google My Business and you'll be able to find it. Underneath all of that is the just general organic search results. And when you hear people talk about SEO, that's what they're referring to. They're trying to figure out, how do I show up on the first page of Google for specific keywords in SEO? Google Ads is different because you can just pay to show up at the top, right? And depending on your budget, depending on how you set it up, you can show up in one of the top 3 search results. Okay, so in order for you to make a Google Ads campaign successful, you really have to understand, as I said, advertising in general. When you pay for an ad, you're paying for attention, and that person clicks on an ad, engages with an ad, goes to a website or a landing page, and they either call or fill out a form. Or if you're in e-commerce, they purchase your product, obviously. So they click on an ad, they go to your business website landing page, and then they call, fill out a form. If you're a service business, they're probably going to be calling in, filling out a form, or checking out your business and engaging with it if it's a restaurant or if it's an e-commerce store that way. So you have to figure out what is specific to your business and what are you trying to drive. Obviously, we all want sales, but there's probably a process to that, right? So for this video, I'm going to focus just on generating leads and driving sales through that leads process, okay? So when somebody clicks on your ad, they're engaging because they're looking for something specific. And so the first part of a successful Google Ads campaign is understanding what your customer is looking for, who they are, and how your business matches that. Okay, so it's your business and your customer's trying to accomplish something, your business has something to offer. You have to find the right people to engage with your business and make the transaction happen, right? The phone call or the form submission. The better you are at understanding your customers and your business offers, the more successful you're going to be in advertising on Google. Specific example might be you're a dentist. If you just use the keyword dentist, you're going to get all sorts of stuff. You're going to get people searching for how to be a dentist, maybe dentist jobs near me, dentist career, right? They're going to be looking for all sorts of stuff. So you really want to qualify it based on what you know or what you think would be that your customer or your patient or your client is looking for, okay? So those are called keywords. Whatever the user types in on the browser, that is what your keyword is. But it all starts with understanding what your customer is looking for, okay? So in order to avoid, things such as jobs or careers, in the dentist example, you want to use what are called negative keywords. So things that you avoid, and a good ad agency or a good freelancer will give you a list of things to avoid as negative keywords. So a good keyword for you might be dentist near me, right? With a good set of keywords to not show up for like dentist jobs near me, right? So once you type in the keyword and you have your negative keywords, then you have to figure out how much do I pay for it? And that's where your cost per click, and that's where the auction element comes from it. Now, without getting too technical on that, I have another video on how to set a marketing budget and based on your business revenues goal, right? Either your revenue goal or your gross existing revenue, how to create a marketing budget. It's really important that you have a marketing budget ahead of time so that you don't freak out every time somebody clicks on your ad and you're paying a few dollars, sometimes 10, 20, 15, $30 per click, and you start freaking out and you pull the trigger or you pull the plug before you get a chance to actually gain momentum, okay? So you wanna have an overall marketing budget that you allocate towards Google Ads. For this example, I'm going to give you a $1,000 customer value. If you're not familiar with customer value, it's how much one customer is worth to your business. It might be simple to figure out. If you're, a professional service, if you're an attorney, if you're a dentist, the customer might give you $1,000 every time they interact with you, they transact with you. So I'm going to use $1,000 as a customer value. It can also be like we've worked with supplement companies who we've consulted supplement companies who their lifetime value of their customer, they're going to spend $1,000 on supplements once they get engaged, or a personal trainer that does monthly personal training for the course of 6 months to 12 months. But knowing your customer value is really important to a successful Google Ads campaign. The reason is a customer value will determine how much you're willing to pay to acquire that customer. So and that's called your cost per acquisition. There's two metrics you need to really measure. Your cost per lead, how much one lead is costing you for your business, and your cost per acquisition. How much does it cost you to acquire a customer? So not all leads are going to turn into customers. So that's where your customer acquisition or your cost per acquisition comes into play. So those two numbers are really important. So back to the $1,000 customer lifetime value. So if you get one customer, you get $1,000. So how many clicks or how many leads would you need in order for you to get one client? Okay, so if you say I'm going to put $1,000 into Google Ads, these are just simple kind of random numbers for you to kind of get an idea of how to budget for yourself. Okay, and there's specific ways to do this. So let's say you put $1,000 into an advertising campaign. The cost per click is $10. I'm just using a general number, a $10 cost per click. So every time somebody clicks on an ad, it's going to cost you $10. And this is the part where business owners freak out because they're like, the cost per click is too expensive, or $10 every time somebody clicks, I'm not going to do that. Don't let that discourage you because the numbers start to make sense here in a second. So $1,000, $10 cost per click, that means 100 people, you can get up to 100 people clicking on your ad. Okay, so if 100 people click on your ad, how many of those actually turn into phone calls and form submissions? So for this example, let's just say 30. So 30% of those clicks turn into a lead. Okay, so now you have 30 potential clients, potential customers who want to engage with your business. You go through your sales process. Let's say you're only able to convert 10% of those 30. So that means you have 3 clients. Okay, so you have 3 clients, each client worth $1,000 to your business. So if you go back to the top, you spent $1,000 to get those 100 clicks, to get those 30 leads, to get those 3 clients, right? And now those 3 clients equal $3,000 in revenue for your business. Now you have to decide, is that a good number for you? Obviously you want to make more. You would want to get, instead of getting 30 leads, you want 30 customers at $1,000 each. That would be a home run, but you have to start somewhere. So this is a good baseline of how you should think about advertising on Google. Now, some people spend $1,000 a day. Some people spend $1,000 over a month, and your cost per click will vary based on your industry. But if you have a marketing budget and you understand how much your customer is worth to you, what your cost per lead should be and what your cost per acquisition should be, you're going to start being able to manage your Google Ads campaign and your advertising campaigns in general based on those numbers. Okay, so that was a little bit long. It was a little bit dense. I hope you found that helpful. But that's the second part of a successful Google Ads campaign, is setting a budget and understanding how that works, because then you can figure out what should my cost per click, what should my cost per click be, what should my conversion rates be, what days are best for me to advertise, what geographies are best to advertise. Once you know your basic numbers and your basic advertising budget. Okay, so the next thing you need is great creative, and that is the messaging that you're going to be putting in your actual advertisements and in the landing page. Okay, so you need to have simple and effective messaging so that when somebody types in that keyword, actually clicks on the ad, and then make sure that the landing page or your website has great messaging. Okay, so there's a lot there to figure out how to make great messaging work, but that is something you should focus on writing new ads and making sure your website is optimized so that when somebody lands on it, they want to actually call, and that your business stands out from everybody else and it actually delivers value in the messaging to the potential client so that they can call you and do business with you. Okay, so the final thing is you want good tracking and good conversion tracking. So good tracking means you need to be able to track specific phone calls and specific form submissions. And again, that's where the lead gen portion of this comes into play. So if you get a lot of clicks in your Google Ads dashboard, but you don't know if you're actually getting calls, or your calls are from organic, or your calls are from other referrals, and you can't tell the difference, that becomes a problem because you don't know your actual real numbers. So you want to make sure that you set up good conversion tracking. And all of these tips are really so that you can guide the people that are doing it for you, and so that you know what to manage and what to expect when going into Google Ads and trying to launch a successful Google Ads campaign. All right, so let's summarize. The first thing that you need to do is you need to understand your customers and what they're searching for. Those are your keywords. Make sure you have good negative keywords in there as well, so that you don't get the stuff that you don't want, such as jobs, careers, free, cheap. Those types of keywords you would add as negative keywords so that you don't show up. So know what your customer is looking for and know how your business matches that need. Number two is set a marketing budget that accomplishes your goal and has a good chance of hitting your goal. Okay, in order to set a good marketing budget, you need to have a business target. Make sure to watch that video on how to set a marketing budget more effectively. The third thing is great messaging and great creative. The messaging are the text that's going to show up in your actual ads and the landing pages or your website. Okay. And the fourth and final thing is you need to be able to measure specific phone calls and form submissions coming directly from Google. So for phone tracking, we like to use a software called CallRail. It's a third-party software. Also, Google has Google Call Tracking that allows you to that allows you to track specific phone calls from the advertisement. I hope you found this video helpful. This is more of a strategy video, and if there's other specific things that you have questions on, there's a ton of videos out there, but one of the things I see really business owners struggle with is understanding the strategy of Google Ads, because you get way too technical and you get overwhelmed and then you just kind of shelve it, right? So you want to be able to understand the strategy and all the components that go into it without getting overly technical, but still being educated enough to make these campaigns work. I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if I earned it, and I look forward to helping you build an epic business.